So this is my first take of me doing this. I want to make more videos like this on the second channel to just fill the time while I'm working on videos to promote Hold On a Minute, a collection of short stories and poems by Johann Birch, which you should totally pick up when it comes out, along with What's Your Problem by Johann Birch, which is out right now. But anyways, I want to talk about a game I recently finished today and give my quick thoughts on it and just talk about it and ramble. Yeah, anyways, today I want to talk about Unicorn Overlord. It is a tactical RPG in the style of something like Triangle Strategy or Fire Emblem, but it was developed by by Vanillaware, published by Atlas, who made 13 Sentinels, which is a game I very much enjoyed and played last year. But Unicorn Overlord is very different, so yeah, let's talk about it. Despite being a tactical RPG, it is, unlike most others, it isn't turn-based. It is real-time, well, semi-real-time, so everything happens like back-to-back. Enemies will not wait for you, but on the other hand, you can pause whenever you want to like plan out your decision mid-fight, and literally when you're making an action, the entire battlefield pauses, so that's very nice. But it's also very unique in the sense that you don't deal with like individual units, but instead you deal with formations. So like, for example, in like, Fire Emblem, you have a specific character that you move around the map and attack people with, right? But in Unicorn Overlord, you make formations, which is a group of those individual unique characters, with one of them being in the lead, which gives you like a unique skill compared to the rest. And the best way, it's hard, words are so hard. You combine all these characters into different formations in hopes that their skills will synergize with each other, leading to just a decimation machine. And that's like one of my favorite things about this game was just experimenting with different formations, seeing what worked. I had like 2 really good formations that basically one-shot everything, so like the game wasn't too hard. And I was playing on Tactical, which is the second to most hardest difficulty. It goes Story, Normal, Tactical, and Expert, and then there's an extra difficulty that's like Super Torture Mode after you beat the game. But I was playing on Tactical for basically the entire game, and there are very few times I went down to Normal, just for like optional fight shit. But I didn't really have trouble in terms of difficulty, but sometimes it was fun like pairing certain character units with classes against other classes to see what does well. And by the end of the game, I pretty much had a very solid team. And when it comes to the actual fights themselves, sometimes you can have really small fights that are like in a very condensed area, and it's like the time limit is like 1 real-time minute, and then you can have like one with a time limit of like 30 real-time minutes, and it's across like this whole huge sprawling part of the map. And burped. And like, I think both of those levels have very equal merit, and I think they're very good. One of them tests your endurance over time, how you manage your stamina, because that's also another thing. Formations have a stamina gauge, basically the amount of actions they perform consumes a certain amount of stamina, right? And once they run out of stamina, they can't do anything. So you can either rest or use an item or a skill to refill it. So that's like something you constantly have to manage. And it was very tricky for me at first, but like once you get used to it. There's a character who joins the Liberation Army early on named Aubin. I'm pretty sure you actually have to get him. He has a skill that replenishes stamina of nearby allies, and I basically abused that. But yeah, the gameplay of the combat is very good, and the bigger maps manage your whole like stamina thing, and the smaller maps manage your just your basic short-term strategizing. Because some of the smaller maps instead have like a bunch of will have 3 enemies surrounding you, going for your command post. And in this game, instead of like routing the enemy, you just have to capture your enemy's command post, which basically means killing the boss. But you'll have 3 enemies coming for your command post, and a bunch of enemies guarding the enemy command post. And that tests your like strategy skills with your formations and all that. And I really like that. And one of my main complaints with 13 Sentinels was that the gameplay, 13 Sentinels, it has a great story, better than Unicorn Overlord. The story of 13 Sentinels is so good, but the gameplay is piss easy. It is really not that challenging at all. didn't make me think real hard at all. And it was just, that was my only complaint about the gameplay, is that it was really easy. So I'm glad that Unicorn Overlord just basically decided to go the opposite direction. And in this game, gameplay is king, and it is really, and like, I'm so glad it succeeds in that. Now, in terms of non-combat gameplay, it's also really good. Unlike 13 Sentinels, where you're just moving on from level to level to level, and like story scenario to story scenario, there is an open world map. And what's actually really cool is that it's kind of, I hate to like use this comparison, but it's like Breath of the Wild in a way, where you can basically tackle anything at any time. You'll have a quest marker telling you like that's where your main objective is, but there's so much to do in between where you currently are and where your main quest is. So like you can get to a lot of quests to like liberate a town, which just unlocks a town for you to get materials, buy shit, stuff like that. Or you can get into a side quest which just unlocks a new character to join the Liberation Army. And I very much appreciate that. And also, sometimes the game will allow you to tackle main objective quest in any order you want. For example, light spoilers, after you liberate almost all of Cornea, you are then told to go to either Drakenhold or Elheim, and you can choose. And, the game definitely intends for you to go to Drakenhold first, because it's a lot easier. But, after you liberate Drakenhold, you can just skip Elheim and go straight to Bistorius to the north. And similarly, you could after you liberate Elheim, you can just skip Bistorius and go straight to Albion. And I very much appreciate that. I think that's very cool. Obviously, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're really good at the game, because again, the leveling will not change. The leveling does not progress with you. Every mission has a set level, so you have to be prepared to deal with that skill. But it's a game where you can do it, but you just have to be really good at the game. The only thing I really didn't like about the exploration is that two things actually. One, the mining minigame sucks. It's just not good. It's not fun. I only did it when I needed to do one of the bridge repairing quests, which I also wasn't that big a fan of, because it required I do the mining minigame. And I do not like that mining minigame. It sucks. Now, and the other complaint I have is that if you fully explore a country, it's not going to fill out the entire thing on the map. Just a pet peeve of mine. Is there anything else I'm missing for gameplay? Ooh, Colosseum. So there's a Colosseum midway through Drakenhold that you unlock, and it works a lot like the Colosseum in Fire Emblem. It's just back-to-back battles, and it's surprisingly really fun, and you can even do online battles with other people's formations that they make. And I feel like I've been doing pretty good on them, but sometimes I have had my ass kicked. But it's really fun. You can fight with friends as well, if you have like friends on like Switch and you're playing on Switch, and it's really fun. I really like the Colosseum. You also get a reward, a certain reward for beating the top rank of the Colosseum. That's really good. So yeah, I liked it a lot. And rapport conversations. Rapport is basically like support from Fire Emblem. Two characters hang out long enough, they'll gain a support conversation, which is just a conversation to build their relationship. And that's cool and all. Yeah. I don't know if it can lead to paired endings, like in Fire Emblem, but I'll get to that later. Hey, this is post-recording Jellu here to tell you that I forgot to mention the music, and I just wanted to say that the soundtrack is absolutely amazing. I love pretty much every single song, but my favorite one specifically is the night theme for Bistorius night theme, whatever you call it. Yeah, it's been playing throughout most of the video, probably, and I really liked it. So yeah, there wasn't a single song in the soundtrack that I disliked. So yeah. Actually, I'll get to that right now, because I think that's it for gameplay. So yeah, gameplay is a 10 out of 10. It is really good. And I will, but now I'm going to be talking about story, which includes spoilers, so skip here to know my final thoughts on the game. Spoilers incoming in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so the story of this game is very generic. And I don't think that's a bad thing, per se, but you can definitely tell that they decided to go the opposite direction of 13 Sentinels, where the gameplay was basically an afterthought and it was more about the story. But in this game, the gameplay is 10 out of 10, and the story is, I'd say, like a 5 out of 10, just because it's super generic, So, it's not like fucking... So we're not getting a case with Engage where it's a 10 out of 10 gameplay, 0 out of 10 story, because the story sucks in Engage, and I will forever stand by that, and I don't think anybody's disagreeing with me like that, so I don't know why I'm phrasing it like that, and I don't know why I'm saying like that a lot like that. But the story is very generic. It's a very simple, ooh, the evil empire has taken over, and it's up to the prince of the queen who was slayed 10 years ago to save the world. And he's the chosen one because he has the magical ring of the unicorn. So, yeah, it's very generic. You can basically predict every twist in the entire game. There's this one part in Bistorius where, like, the humans from the evil empire are discriminating and being racist against the filthy beast folk, and then all of a sudden there's this strange guy in this like fully armor, but he's like the way I'm gonna just show a picture. This man is a beast folk. Okay, like there's not even a question about that, but it acts as a surprise when it's revealed. So yeah, that was really funny. There was only one twist in the game that was very surprising, and even then, it's a very nothing twist, so, you know. So it's a very generic story, but something I will commend is the romance options. Much like in Fire Emblem, the main character can romance almost every character in the game, and this time, unlike Fire Emblem, this includes same-sex options, which is actually really cool. Personally, I chose to pair up Elaine with Rosalinda because she is probably my best unit other than Elaine, and also I just really enjoyed her rapport conversations with Elaine. And what I like is that during the final fight, Rosalinda does show up and like say important things, specifically because I chose her as my romantic partner, and I think that's really cool. And also, at the end of the game, there's a whole like "Where are they now?" section, much like Fire Emblem, where it just gives quick text scrolls of what happens to the characters after the war. And it made me curious about paired endings, because in Fire Emblem, if you have two side characters with a high enough support, sometimes they might get married at the end of the game, unlike your main character, like who you choose that with. You sort of have to like be more faithful in that section. And at the end of the game, Gilbert and Virginia get married. But I was wondering if that was because I had a high rapport with them or not. But I don't think it's that way, because I also had max rapport with Lex and Chloe, and like, come on, they gotta be together. Am I crazy? I was just expecting like a generic story like this to have that sort of ending. So I don't know. But yeah, story is very generic. You're not gonna be surprised at all with the story. It's very serviceable. Not to say it's bad. And this entire section has just been nothing, really. So, yeah. One thing I didn't like is the whole, like, Elenia being alive at the very end of the game. Because Zenora took over her body. That was so dumb. But anyways, yeah. That was the story. So, yeah. Like, 5 out of 10 story. You know, it's good, but it's just so, like, whatever. It's so generic. Doesn't really try and do anything unique like Fire Emblem Path of Radiance or anything like that. But yeah, that was, so yeah, Unicorn Overlord though, like, it's easily my favorite game that I've played this year. I like it more than Persona 3 Reload, and although Persona 3 Reload, I would say is like a, you know, it's a 10 out of 10, but like, I played that game before, you know? It's a remake. So like, I do think Unicorn Overlord is better in that regard, just because like, it's the most unique thing I've played this year, if that makes sense. And I don't think we're ever going to get a tactical RPG like it again, unless it really, like, becomes popular. But I doubt it will be, considering it came out, like, a week after Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, so people are probably going to be playing that a lot more. So, yeah. I'm not going to give Unicorn Overlord a number rating. I'm not going to give... I'm tired of giving game a number rating, so, you know what, I'll do a completionist finish it. That's my completionist rating of it. So, yeah, that was that. Thank you for watching. Now, excuse me, I need to go commit charity fraud. Nah, just kidding. Make sure to check out this channel. Make sure to check out my main channel. Make sure to check out my books. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yep. Okay, bye.